Hello everyone, and welcome to another beer review. So today we're back on the Scottish series, but there's a caveat in that. This time it's not Belhaven. It's supposed to be something else, but unfortunately the bottles got smashed, or so this brewery has said, because I ordered these beers almost a month ago, and I got one box delivered out of 5. So it's supposed to be 5 boxes delivered, and I got 1 out of 5. And I contacted them. And it took them a couple of days to find out that apparently their courier had there's been an accident, and your shipment is heading back to our warehouse. Oh, is it? Nice for you to actually inform me, because trust me, it's a case of you would have been informed about that breakage and everything else a heck of a lot sooner if it actually happened. So I'm kind of dubious, but anyway, once I actually do get the beers, I'll basically, I'll be honest with them and I'll give you my thoughts on it, because trust me, it's not a good start. If at the end of the day, when I review beers, it's not just the flavour of the beer and the price of the beer, it's the overall kind of how would you say, experience, and that also includes buying it, if you're actually buying it from the brewery. And if you waited almost a month and you still haven't received your order, and then they fob you off with this kind of, well, let's be totally honest, it's a load of crap. So now they say that, oh, don't worry, we'll basically send you another, but again, no information. Now here's the best laugh is, they're actually supposed to inform you. They actually say that, they send as part of their confirmation, they'll say, right, once your beer is shipped, we'll send a shipping confirmation. No shipping confirmation was actually sent. And again, they still haven't sent me any confirmation whether they've actually shipped the items or not. So I don't know when they're going to arrive, if they're going to arrive. But I'm dubious that their excuse was that, oh, the bottles got damaged and the courier's now sending them back to us. Yeah, I'm sure they've probably sent them back, or you've probably just told them, well, bin what's broken, because there's no point sending it to us. So, we're doing another Scottish one that isn't Belhaven, and it's from the Orkney Brewery. The Orkney Brewery, and it's the Northern Lights, or Aurora Borealis, I think is what they call it. And it's a blonde ale. Ooh. And yeah, it's sparkling, light, refreshing, and citrusy. See how it just nose dive there? You see it like, oh, light and citrusy. Anyway, such is life. So what is it? It's 4%. It's roughly about £2 a bottle. And oh, there's a bit of spiel in the back. Aren't we all lucky? Right, Northern Light. Northern Lights is named after the lights of the aurora, regularly viewed in our northern skies. Well, not really, because yes, you do get some good viewpoints in northern Scotland, round about Aberdeenshire, things like that. You get some good views of it if it's a clear night. The problem is, during the summer, you still get quite a lot of cloud, and this is one of the big problems. Is you might be northern, far enough north to get a good view. Unfortunately, with all the bloody clouds that you usually get, a lot of times it's disappointing, and a lot of people have missed out. Well, we went to a good viewpoint, good vantage point to watch it, and the 3 bloody days have been all cloudy at night. You've seen bugger all, apart from just the hints in the clouds. Don't talk your pish. Citrus flavours combined with hints of fresh bread. I don't even think that's nice. You want to go with your bread there? Oh, fucking orange. Or a lemon. As if it's like a marriage made in heaven. I suppose, yeah, if you went down the marmalade route, maybe. If you want something, if you're a bit of the old pad and bear about, marmalade sandwiches or something like that. But you just, citrus flavours combined with hints of fresh bread. Just, oh, you can smell it, can't you? You can just smell it. I'm glad I'm not stirring it with my fingers, because the smell is bad enough. As I say, giving way to spice. Here we go, I've gone into a curry now. Wait a minute. Citrus flavours combined with hints of fresh bread giving way to spice, citrus and apricot hoppiness. It has a delicious crisp hop character without being overly aggressive, perfectly refreshing, pairs well with chicken, seafood, salads and all curries. What's the point? May as well say, it's great with everything. Seriously, pairs well with chicken. Oh, seafood. Oh, I like salads. All right, put salads down. And all curries, I'll drink it with anything. Right, okay, right, put all curries down as well. You can just imagine that, they go around the table. What do you like it with? Angel Delight. What? It's like tapioca. Go on, fuck off. It's like, seriously, what? I mean, just take a step back and have an honest appraisal of yourselves, for God's sake. Don't put this nonsense on the back of the bottle. All you make you do is, you look like fucking morons. You do. You just end up looking like bloody idiots, because people read that thinking, don't talk piss. Seriously? Just give it a rest. Better to leave it, make the label smaller, save yourself some money, and just don't put any crap on it. Just put the bare essentials. And if you really can't even do that, then just basically put down what the regulations say you must put down, and then that's it. Because, you just do is like foolish. You really do. You need to stop this. Jesus. Right, anyway. Did I do the Instagram? It's got to be better than Bellhaven. It's got to be better than Bellhaven. There's no place like home. Anyway. Turn into Dorothy there. Right, let's get it cracked open and see what it's like. Hopefully it's a good one. I mean, I'm not against it. Oh, Jesus. I'm not against citrus. I could like a wee bit of citrus now and again. But I won't cream my panties over it. I just will not. I'm just, I like to get my bitterness rather than sourness as we've been through. So it's quite effervescent, as you can see. It's absolutely raging in the glass here. Maybe hear it. Absolutely raging. It's, for the people in the podcast, it's kind of golden colour. It's actually probably a bit darker than what you expect a blonde ale to be. You'd expect it to be a bit lighter, but yeah, it's a kind of golden straw colour. There you go. In fact, it actually looks very similar to a golden ale, funnily enough. So I don't know where the blonde bit comes in. Maybe she was present and they were basically coming up with an idea, I don't know. What we're going to do, should we do a golden ale? I don't know, we'll bring in the blonde and see what she's got to say. I'm trying to work out, why put blonde? Is it a trend thing? If I put blonde on, people buy more of it. Is that true? I don't know, but it goes with it. Try it, give it a go. I mean, is it that? Because the amount of blonde ales that I've kind of tried and reviewed, and you're looking at it thinking, just looks like a normal golden ale. So where's the blonde bit come in? Or is that just some hype and all that, just bullshittery as they call it, But anyway, let's see what it smells like. It's kind of strange. And slightly vinegary tones in the aroma. There is some kind of, there's a bit of malt there, a little bit of grain. But I'm not really getting citrus. But I'm getting something that's kind of like almost slightly vinegary. Yeah. It's a bit unusual. But anyway, let's see what it tastes like. Well, there is spice there, for Christ's sake. That's lingering in the back of the throat, for fuck's sake, seriously. There's a bit of saltiness there as well. Jesus, that's a savoury beer, ladies and gentlemen. It's been well seasoned. Oh, Gordon Ramsay will be pleased. Yeah, there's bloody salty tones in that. There's a bit of citrus there. But there is actually a hint of spice, but not spice as in accents now. But there's actually a slight spiciness to it. It's a bit unusual, to say the least. God, this Bill even found a rifle. Oh, Jesus God. Where do they get this? Seriously. Oh, unbelievable. Right. Oh, bloody flies. I hate flies. I really do. It's one of my pet bugbears is flies. Go mental. Look at it. I'll kill it. I'll tell you, I'll bloody kill the damn things. If I get close to them. I'm 50 years of age, you know. Jesus, most of the time I'm hitting fresh air. You know, I'm hitting down where the bloody fly was there a week ago, you know, that type of thing. It's fucked off, you know. It's probably not even in the house anymore, you know. It's probably out next door by the time I've actually spotted it. Buggers just ripped the piss out of me, so they do. That's a weird one. I am getting little kind of salty accents in the aftertaste. Getting a bit of kind of actual spiciness in the mid-tongue. It's one weird tasting beer. I was watching a review on YouTube, actually. It was because I was discussing with another viewer, Ben, who was talking about Tropical Storm, and he said he looked at another YouTube channel that reviewed it months ago, about 4 or 5 months ago. They reviewed it, and the guy was creaming his panties over it. There's a surprise. And then saying that, for any kind of the main popular mainstream viewers, he creams his panties over it. But yeah, one of the other viewers of this channel called him, I think, kind of let's just say a slightly inappropriate name. Well, inappropriate under YouTube kind of guidelines, but under normal kind of social judgment, then I'd probably say it's pretty well spot on. But yeah, and we're talking about this, and he was using the terms, isn't it great when brewers get let off the leash? Well, first of all, I don't think they're put on a leash anyway. They're expected to basically do a job, and I think one of the big problems is that breweries are there to make money. So you've got to make beer that's going to sell, and if you've got certain kind of popular brands coming from that brewery, then he seems to think that that's easy. It's just day after day, just it must be really boring. Well, not really, because the problem is you're working with natural products. If you're working with real, proper, good quality natural ingredients, then they fluctuate, and you have to adjust it to get that consistency. And I think that's where this review channel seems to think that it must be really boring for head brewers. So it must be great when they can get to experiment and get the creative side going. because he seems to think that basically 95% of the time they're just making their kind of regular kind of brand beers and must be really boring. Well, no, it's actually quite challenging, especially to get the consistency. And also throughout the seasons, because maybe he hasn't realised that quite a lot of ingredients used in beers are seasonal. So of course, it's going to be different throughout the year. And you're going to have to adjust your recipe and your process ever so slightly and things like that. A lot of tweaking going on to get that consistency of the brew all the way kind of through. And it just shows how naive. And he was also kind of bragging, oh, I brewed this with this brewery and I brewed this beer and oh, it's great and it's wonderful and all that, you know. Well, if you've actually done brewing, then you've got climate to deal with, you've got seasonal changes of the actual raw ingredients. So it isn't easy to keep brewing the same beer over and over again, because at different times of the year you're really doing a different kind of recipe to try and get that consistency throughout the year of that brand of beer. So I just couldn't believe that you're coming out with this crap and you're thinking, no, they've got to kind of work hard. Now I know obviously more advanced breweries, also a lot of it's done through computer management and everything else, but you still have to do the tweaks and you still have to dial in the tweaks and everything else. Now while they maybe not do so much of the physical stuff as they used to do maybe with a more kind of a traditional brewing setup, but a more automated one still needs guidance and it still needs to be tweaked and adjusted and everything else. Plus also you need to obviously test. When your ingredients come in, you have to test them. And the labs will test them and they'll tell you what yields you've got in there and that type of stuff. And then you're going to have to start to adjust the ratios because you're maybe going to be down on certain yields from some of the grains than you would be maybe in the middle of summer and all that type of stuff. And so there's still a lot of type of thing you've got to do behind the scenes even before you actually get the stuff, you know, start brewing with the raw ingredients. You really have to kind of keep on top of what you're actually getting, and you could be buying the best of what's available at the time, but there we go. And of course some will obviously buy excess when it's in season because when it's kind of cheaper, but also they kind of store it, but you can only store it and you've got to basically manage it properly and everything else so it doesn't deteriorate too much. And even then while you're storing it there will be some aspects of deterioration, so you have to monitor that. So yeah, there's quite a lot of behind the scenes kind of management of ingredients and everything else. So when you get idiots coming around and say, oh well, it must be really boring just brewing the same beer over and over and over again, as if it's like, well there you go, you know. We don't live in a fluctuating climate, we don't have seasons. You think you're an idiot. But anyway, such is life. But to get back to that, it's a case as though my point is that sometimes brewers should be put on a leash. They should be bloody handcuffed and taken off to jail. Right. That is a weird one. Right, let's break this down. It's a strange one, this one, so it is. Starts off with, you get some light malts, a little bit of grain, and a little bit of sweetness, but a very, very light sweetness. Leaves it in the mid-tongue. And it's a strange thing. The kind of malt dies down a bit. The grain dies a bit as well, but it's still there. But then over the top of it, you still start getting little accents of citrus, just little accents initially. But over the top of that, there's a kind of lightness. And within this lightness, there's actually a bit of spiciness to it. You're not really getting bitterness, you're just getting kind of light citrus, and you're just getting this kind of sensation of actually you've eaten something kind of spicy. And it's kind of goes from the mid-tongue towards the back of the mouth. And as you're moving on to the kind of back of the mouth with the aftertaste, just getting little accents of salt, just little different parts of the back of the tongue. But as part of the aftertaste, you start getting a little bit more bitterness, and the citrus kind of ramps up a little bit, so you're kind of losing the spiciness. But you're getting a bit more bitterness, you're getting a bit more citrus. The malt's basically gone at this point. The grain is kind of really died down. You just get these little accents of salt. And as the citrus and the bitterness kind of dissipates, you're still just getting these slight little, as if it's like, you know, you're this little grain of salt just being scattered periodically onto the back of the tongue. It's just kind of strange. So it is. I mean, it's not really my cup of tea. I'll be totally honest. Maybe people like it. Maybe I'm missing a trick and missing the whole point of this. And I mean, in general, it's quite a nice mouthful. It's quite kind of raging with the carbonation, but it's not too bad. Don't know where he gets the bread bit from, because I'm not really getting bread. But yeah, but it just feels quite a light, kind of fresh kind of beer from that point of view. But yeah, some of the flavour profiles are a bit strange. Do you know what it actually reminds me of in the kind of strange way? Almost a bit like kind of salt and pepper chicken. You know, that kind of salt and pepper coating you get on it. It's almost kind of that-esque in some ways. So you're getting a little bit of spiciness from the pepper, but it's not peppery, but as if like you're getting a little bit of heat from the pepper, but you're not getting any kind of pepper flavours, but you are getting slightly salty accents in the aftertaste. It's just very strange and just, no. I don't think it really adds to the beer, and I don't think something that beer's been calling out for is like, let's make it savoury. Why don't we season it? When I mean season it, we mean really, no, not that way, no, but season it, no, that doesn't, no. But anyway, sprinkle, salt bay, whatever, you know what I mean? Ah, should have said that, should I? Anyway, but you know what I'm trying to say. But yes, give a little sprinkle of, oh my god. Okay, I've had enough of this. Right, what would I give this out of 10? It's not as bad as Belhaven, but I think some of the accents, flavours, I think the beer could have done without. The citrus levels are not too bad. The bitterness levels are not too bad from that point of view. There is a bit of citrus here and there's a bit of bitterness, but it's actually not too bad. And it doesn't have that kind of sourness, so it doesn't have that kind of lingering sourness on the back of the throat, which is a good thing. So you're getting bitterness, but not the sourness, which is a bit better. But it is slightly pithy in the aftertaste. So, out of 10 would I give it? Just because of the elf flavours, I would probably say, maybe I'd given it a 5. But just some of these off flavours are just, for me, personally, not my cup of tea. So I'm going to take some points off for that. So, yeah, I'm going to give it a 4. I mean, if it didn't have these off flavors, it'd be an okay little beer, but nothing special, nothing wonderful, but it'd be an okay little beer. But just with some of these kind of flavors, and while I'm maybe marking it down from my point of view, maybe other people would mark it up because it's more up their street. So my view is give it a go and see what you think. But for me, it would be around about a 5 normally, but just because of some of these slightly strange flavours or unusual flavours that aren't really my cup of tea, I'm going to take a mark off from that point of view. But like I said, other people might add a mark on because it's really up their street. So my view is, if you do see it, give it a go and see what you think. But it is a wee bit unusual, and yeah, bloody hell. So, thanks for watching. Cheers, and bye for now.